Hey you guys, welcome back to another video. It has been a long time. I wanted to record this video and I'm just hoping that they can hear me and see me okay. And yeah, it's been a while since I've been on here, but I really wanted to come on here to talk about when you're experiencing heartbreak, navigating that journey, and in a sense, coming back home to yourself and honoring things about you that just support you on your journey of self-discovery. I think it's very interesting too, as a woman who, I'm 36, I'll be 37 in a few months, have made some serious life pivots in my mid 30s, how important understanding who I am has been. I think it's so important and not talked about enough, the work that we have to do in terms of like when you go through identity loss and you don't know who you are, you've had a traumatic event that has changed you, not so much just like the heartbreak, but other things that have taken place that can change us, that add to our traumas, divorce, diagnosis, loss, so many different things. And so being a woman that has now had, I'd say, 8 years to build my toolbox, it's interesting to experience a new heartbreak, a new form of loss, grieving a friend essentially, and having these tools that I've built up to get me to this place. So I would say, and I'm very fresh in things, so I may even get emotional on this video, but it was just on my heart to share because we've gone through our fair share of breakups. We've all had relationships that we thought were going to be the one, that person was going to be the one. It was the relationship. It was so good. Or maybe we dated at the level that we were at that time. Like, and you have that comfort, you have that peace with someone, especially when you're on the same page. Your vibe in life is growing beautifully, and you feel like God is even allowing you to grow beautifully together. And then that just comes to a halt and it comes to a change. And not only, does it leave like grief of the relationship, but you do grieve a friendship. You grieve someone that was your buddy, your go-to person, your partner that you did a lot of things with. And I'm probably going to get a little emotional because grieving that is hard. It sucks. It's really hard. Especially when that's been, your person to play darts, to go on trips with, like so many things. And in the same token, it's the natural pain that we have to go through and experience in grief. It's that natural deep sigh that we gotta experience. It's, not rushing. And there's a few things that I've learned in my time of loss, as a woman that is a breast cancer survivor, as a woman that navigated loss when my son passed away, 36 weeks of my pregnancy, navigating new loss now of, someone that I loved that is no longer an active part or participant in my life. And I don't say that negatively, because there's nothing negative to say either in the same token, but I've learned you really have to make space for your healing, for the grief, to feel it. Don't rush past it. Sit in it every single day, but be intentional about trying to create a deadline for yourself. And I don't say a deadline as in the grief is never going to come back, or you're not going to get emotional driving past like your favorite restaurant or places maybe that you guys used to frequent. But I'm giving myself like 7 days to just like be, to be however I need to be and feel how I need to feel and honor that. Lean on community. If you do have that available, is so helpful, because when you can talk about how you're feeling and let it out and share it with other people, there's also a caveat to that too, right? Because you still want to have boundaries and protection around yourself. It may be someone that you texted yesterday expressing something about yesterday's moments, and they're just now replying today, and it's like, I actually don't want to focus on that part today. communicating well, like, oh, thank you so much for following back up with me and checking in on me. I'm actually pivoting my focus today. However, you got to set boundaries, right? Because it's like your heart is so vulnerable, it's so sensitive, and you still need to be in a place where you're protecting yourself. You protect how you feel, you protect your emotions, you protect your mind, right? Because the grief, the breakup, it's wavy. It's wavy, and it may be wavy for a while, it may be wavy for a short period, but the best way on the other side is through the other side, like not ignoring it, not sweeping it under the rug. Actually process how you feel and give yourself space to process how you feel. Honor what you can or can't do in that day either. I met up with one of my friends the other day, a day after my relationship had ended, and they were like, okay, you ready to go in the restaurant and eat? And I was like, actually, I'm not, because I'm about to cry right now in the parking lot. And I was like, I actually can't go in that restaurant right now. But I do need food. I haven't eaten. So I would love if we could go get smoothies and sit in the car. And just that could, like, that level of support for me was so profound, but that also came with awareness. And I didn't always have this awareness because, honey, I'm sure what the kids call it, crashing out, like early back in the day, teens, college, crashing out, like, because you feel like your world is literally ending. And I've had enough relationships to know I'm going to be okay. It's going to be okay, but it doesn't take away the sting. It doesn't take away the fact that that doesn't suck. It doesn't take away the love and the care, and even like the future planning that I may have had with that person too. It doesn't remove any of that, but the crash outs back then were mad real. And something that this moment is showing me as I'm crying, as I'm feeling the grief, talking to my dad, talking to my mom, doing things, small momentum, like micro things that bring me joy to help me process and just grieve. As I'm doing all of this, I'm like, the tools in my toolbox actually do work. Like, they actually are helping me. They're actually helping me navigate and cope and feel better. Regulating your emotions, not self-abandoning, talking, being vocal in a space that's safe and comfortable with like community. And I don't need the whole world right now, just a handful of close girlfriends and a handful of my brothers to talk through as it comes up. And I'm so grateful that I have the awareness to ask for what I need now, even if it sometimes feels hard. Like, I can ask my cousin, hey, can you check on me tomorrow or this week? And I'm grateful when people do check on me. Call me, FaceTime me, send for me. If community is available to you, if you have safety in those spaces, lean on them, and don't do this solo. Don't do it solo. Don't go grieving solo. And find a way to truly start to regulate your emotions. And so much of this is so helpful to journal out. If I don't start my morning with journaling, I feel clogged. Like, if I just start driving around and going places and I didn't release the thoughts to allow my day to start, I feel so clogged up. So I will journal how I'm feeling. Day 3 sucks. This is how I feel. This is what I'm feeling. This is what's coming up for me. I had a moment of tears in Barnes & Noble today while I was on the phone with one of my brothers, just kind of talking a little bit through, and then understanding, like, hey, not so much like when you're talked out, but like, hey, I actually don't have the capacity. I don't have the capacity right now, because people are going to follow up with you and check on you at different times and different moments. So it's okay to set that understanding, in a sense, boundary, because once again, right, we're trying to protect our heart. We're trying to still find a way to cope in the sensitivity of it all, and eventually start to find beauty in moments and days and who you are in due time in the process of restoring. I once heard a statement that I thought was very interesting. My dad likes to say this a lot, and I think there is a lot of truth to it, that time heals all wounds, or time will tell. He says it all the time. Time will tell. Time will tell, right? Because it's so much that can happen and take place. And he's right. Time will tell. Oftentimes people say time will heal all wounds, but I actually kind of learned to have a different outlook that yes, time in treating a wound can heal it. You typically need to treat whatever that wound is to care for it and nurture it for it to heal. So the same token of like time can build a house, but if you don't intentionally lay the foundation for the house, if you don't buy the items you need for the house, if you don't set out the plan for the house, time won't build it if there's not intentionality, if there's not some form of structure there. So I think that honestly, in a sense, applies to our healing. It's not a forced thing, but it's a level of intentionality. Like, hey, I want to give myself this week and this week alone to feel how I got to feel. And then I'm going to start training in the gym again next week. And then I'll start with my trainer next week. I want to give myself, if we're splitting up a day, I give myself the morning to do what I got to do. And then I'm going to take the evening to myself to journal, to reflect, to release, and do things that fill your spirit, that speak to your spirit, right? Because so often our minds want to like ruminate on the situation, ruminate on the last conversation, the last text, the last phone call, the last in-person interaction. All of those things are so normal. We will marinate on them. And that's not always the healthiest thing, right? Because it'll keep you stuck in that moment. And then your heart is reliving that moment. And then your spirit is feeling that moment, and your emotions are constantly like not processing. And we want to heal. So if you do ruminate for a second, let it be that second and then move forward. And whatever that looks like for you, I know for me, it's just like praying to God to like guide me and navigate things. Having myself rooted in something is what helps me get through all things. And that something is my faith. And so that's what I lean on. So that's what I fill my heart with, you know, and I'm not listening to a whole bunch of different messages right now. I'm probably just honing on a specific message or a specific person that speaks to me in a specific way. So I just wanted to share, because heartbreak at 19, heartbreak at 26, heartbreak at 32, heartbreak at 36 is still heartbreak. It still hurts. It sucks. It's not exciting. It's not sexy. I don't think most of us go into it wanting that to happen, but we usually are in a space where like we don't want to chance the opportunity to miss love. So I know this can come with it. I would rather this be the cost than missing out on what could have been, or what could have proceeded forward, or what could have like met all my dreams and expectations, you know? So for what it's worth, I just hope that this is helpful to you as you're on your journey. If you've ever experienced this or experiencing it now, I can't talk. Yeah, let's chat through it in the comments, because we're not alone in this, you know. And if maybe you have different tools that were helpful to you, share them in the comments as well. I'm looking forward to connecting with y'all. I know it's getting darker outside now, so I'm going to end this. I just could not miss the moment to record this message and just share and have this conversation. And granted, I mean, breakups are tough, y'all. They're tough. They're tough. But I like to really lean on the fact that God still gives beauty for ashes. And he holds back no good thing. No good thing will he hold back from us. So, all right, y'all, until the next video, peace out.